These spliced hoops make good pet toys, or if you're into sailing they can make grommets, or you could even make your own game of quoits. This is most easily done with rope that keeps its lay, and by keeping its lay I mean that it keeps this spiral appearance even after you've unraveled the rope. To make these you're going to need a length of rope long enough to make your hoop, and then you're going to need another length of rope about 3.5 times the length of this short piece, and you want to unravel the rope and just extract a single long strand. What we're going to do is we're going to use this short piece as a form, and we're going to slowly replace it with this single longer piece. So right at the end we only have to splice together one piece of rope instead of 3. Before you get started, what you want to do is on this single strand you just want to heat treat these ends if you've got synthetic rope, or if you have natural fibre rope you're going to need to whip the ends or wrap the ends in electrical tape, and then find the centre of the rope and then just mark it off with some sort of marker. Then we're going to get our form rope and we're just going to unravel one strand until it gets to the halfway mark around about, and then we're going to take our long strand where we marked it off at the center and put it in that groove and relay this long strand to replace where that shorter strand came out of, and it should look exactly like the original rope, just like that. And once you've relayed half of this rope you can continue to take the other half of this short strand out, and you don't need that short strand anymore, so you can put that aside, and then relay where you took that short strand out with your long strand. So once you've done that you should end up with something that looks like your original short piece of rope, except it's going to have these long bits coming out on either side. So the next step is to just bring the two ends of your rope together to form a nice hoop, and then observe whereabouts on this side of the rope this strand would continue if it was to be relayed around. So just bring them together and see which strand lines up, and then you're going to have to unlay a little bit of that strand, and then holding it together again you're going to relay this longer strand in that groove. And so just at this stage do a little bit at a time. So unlay a little bit of the shorter rope and lay in a little bit of this longer rope in its place. And so eventually as you continue this process you should just find that the other short strand comes all the way out, and you will lay this longer piece and come back to the starting point. So once you've arrived back at the starting place there should only be one form strand left and then one long strand left, and we just need to unravel this one remaining form strand and replace it with this long strand. So we just unwind that shorter strand again, or the form strand, and then replace it with the long strand. And again, just bit by bit, unravel a little bit of the form strand and replace it with this longer one. And now you should find, as you get close to the end, that the last form strand comes out and you've replaced the whole thing with your single long strand. And we just need to weave this last bit all the way together. And once you've weaved it all the way together, it should look like a single rope now, and you'll just have two single strands left here. And when I get to this junction here, what I want to do is just take these two strands that remain and cross them over, so when I pull the whole thing together, these two strands just look like the rest of the lay of the rope. And now we just need to tuck these free ends underneath the strands here like a normal splice. So I'm just going to follow along here and just go over one strand and then under the next, and so I'm just going to have to open that up just by twisting the rope a little bit and then tucking that free end through and pulling it in, and then follow along again, over one, under one, and tuck that end into place. So I'm going to go over one, under one more time on this side just to finish 3 tucks. And then I want to do the exact same thing over this side. Just go over one, under one, over one, under one, and weave this last strand into the rest of the rope. So once you've completed 3 tucks on both sides, the last thing that needs to be done is, if you're using synthetic rope, just to cut the ends off here and then heat seal them, or if you're using natural fibre rope, you're probably going to have to put a whipping around the end just to secure this end piece. And once you've sealed the ends flush, that should be your finished hoop.